10 things to know before buying the 2022 Chevrolet Camaro SS1 LE. The 2022 Chevrolet Camaro SS1 LE is one of the most iconic American muscle cars of this decade and is here to compete with the likes of the Ford Mustang GT Performance Pack and the Dodge Challenger Scat Pack Widebody. Coming with the same naturally aspirated V8 motor as the outgoing 2021 model, the Camaro SS1 LE is also one of the very few models in the segment that feels like a traditional muscle car, as it still retains the analog character we have always loved. Being a very fast car due to the punchy powertrain of the SS trim, the Camaro SS1 LE also gets plenty of upgrades due to the inclusion of the 1LE Track Performance package. As a result, it is incredibly capable on the racetrack. The upgraded suspension, tires, brakes, and the sporty Recaro seats do provide a lot of driving pleasure. Offered for a base MSRP of $45,695, here are 10 things you need to know before buying the 2022 Chevrolet Camaro SS1 LE. 10. V8 motor offers great acceleration. Underneath the hood of the 2022 Chevrolet Camaro SS1 LE resides the 6.2-liter naturally aspirated V8 motor, putting out 455 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque. You could get either a 10-speed torque converter automatic transmission or a 6-speed Tremec manual transmission, and the power is routed to the rear wheels. There is also a limited slip differential to help put the power down. The car does 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds and the quarter-mile run in 12.1 seconds at 119 miles per hour. The top speed is 165 miles per hour. Even though the weight of more than 3,700 pounds is on the higher side, it is still lighter than the Challenger Scat Pack Widebody. The performance is unreal and the car accelerates like a bat out of hell. The low-end and mid-range torque is superb, and the automatic transmission is reasonably fast. We also loved the sonorous V8 and the easiness it has while overtaking fast-moving traffic on the highway. The 6-speed manual is a delight with crisp shifts and short throws. 9. Very capable on the racetrack. The 2022 Chevrolet Camaro SS1 LE comes with a different suspension setup compared to the regular Camaro. It gets the revolutionary performance-tuned magnetic ride control suspension with unique bushings, springs, and stabilizer bars. The 20 inches forged aluminum alloy wheels that come wrapped with 285-section tires for the front and 305-section tires for the rear, and the improved aerodynamics with the help of splitters and spoiler does make it very capable around the twisties. When put in sport mode, the suspension does stiffen up considerably, and this American muscle coupe corners like no other rivals. Even with a reasonably heavy curb weight and being front-heavy, the car offered much lower understeer than the rivals. The oversteer while exiting the corner is very controllable, and overall it turned out to be a joy to drive. The limited slip differential and correct differential gearing helped to put the power down well, and the car gripped the road supremely even in the wet driving con. 8. Mediocre rear seat and cargo space. Like all the rivals of the American muscle car segment, the front seats turned out to be comfortable for the 2022 Chevrolet Camaro SS1 LE. The Recaro seats offer superb side bolstering and under-thigh support, and you are always cocooned in the seat even when driving enthusiastically around a racetrack. The headroom and legroom are superb, and the front seats get heat, ventilation, and powered functionality as well. Even though the Camaro SS1 LE is marketed as a 4-seater, the rear seat is practically unusable for adults due to the terrible headroom and legroom. Even the kids would find it claustrophobic in the rear. There aren't any storage spaces either. Even the trunk space of 9.1 cubic feet is mediocre when compared to the rivals. The Mustang GT has 13.5 cubic feet and the Challenger Scat Pack Widebody has a class-leading 16.2 cubic feet. 7. Interior quality and design are better than before. The interior quality has seen a tremendous improvement from the older model years. The dashboard and door cards now come covered in soft touch leather with contrasting stitching, silver accents, and chrome inserts. Even though there are quite a lot of hard plastics in this cabin, it is well put together and feels like it is built to last. The subtle interior design does get some elements from the older generations of the Chevrolet Camaro. The circular air vents are neatly stuck onto the dashboard, and we also admire the white stitching on the leather insert present in the dashboard. The infotainment doesn't wobble around and is flush-fitted. There are multiple buttons and knobs for the infotainment and the climate control, and all of them feel very tactile. The Recaro seats, red seat belts, and the Alcantara for the gear knob gel well with the overall design language. 6. Infotainment system is easy to use. The 8" Chevrolet Infotainment 3 system comes unchanged and is pretty intuitive and filled with all the necessary features. The display quality is great and so is the touch sensitivity. Even though we wish it came with a slightly bigger screen, since the Challenger Scat Pack Widebody comes with a bigger unit, it is not going to be a deal-breaker. There are no lags and going through the menu is an intuitive affair, and the icons are large enough. The standard features include steering-mounted controls, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, SiriusXM radio, navigation, voice recognition, cloud services, Bluetooth connectivity, and wireless charging. The audio experience provided by the standard 6-speaker audio system is mediocre, and the audiophiles would need to upgrade the speakers. 5. Excellent safety. The American muscle cars have always had a bad reputation when it comes to safety. The mediocre build quality, poor engineering, and the lack of many safety and driver assistance tech made it an unsafe option. However, the 2022 Camaro SS1LE managed to get a 5-star rating in the overall crash safety section of the NHTSA, similar to the rivals in the segment. It also received good ratings in most of the subsections of the IIHS crash test. The standard safety and driver assistance tech on offer include an HD rear vision camera, OnStar and Chevrolet connected services, airbags, StabiliTrak, teen driver mode, and a tire pressure monitoring system. However, all the other features like blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, forward collision warning, and lane departure warning are optional extras. 4. Smooth ride quality. The ride quality turned out to be surprisingly comfortable, which is not what we expected from a car that is made for setting the racetracks on fire. In comparison to the Camaro 1 Zelati 1LE, which comes with the Multimatic suspension setup, the Camaro SS1LE's magnetic ride suspension offered a pliant ride quality on most roads and speeds. Dial the car into the comfort mode and this magnetic ride suspension does soften up considerably, absorbing most of the sharp bumps and potholes. Even with a massive 20" wheels, the ride doesn't turn out to be bone-jarring at the highway speeds. The vertical movement and body roll are much lesser than the Dodge Challenger Scat Pack Widebody and the Ford Mustang GT with Performance Pack. 3. Sharp braking performance with Brembo brakes. The 2022 Chevrolet Camaro SS1LE comes with a 6-piston Brembo monoblock front 2-piece rotors and 4-piston rear calipers, along with a 4-wheel anti-lock braking system. The braking performance turned out to be better than all the segment rivals, and the initial bite and braking progression are similar to what you normally see in a track-spec sports car. The brake fade is very minimal as the ventilated front and rear rotors help in removing the heat from the rotors efficiently. The front-end dive is not too intrusive, and the Camaro SS1LE stops in a straight line when pushing hard on the brake pedal. The 70 to 0 mph braking distance of 150 feet is one of the shortest of the segment. 2. Hot exterior design. Get the 2022 Chevrolet Camaro SS1LE in the right color, and it still looks hot from all angles. Being in continuous production for quite a long time, the timeless design does work wonders for this muscle car, and it is eye-catching out on the open road. The 1LE comes with a black hood and a bright color scheme makes it look stunning, especially on a sunny day. The front end takes forward the facelift design which came with the 2020 iteration. The LED headlights with LED DRLs, functional air vents, and the performance air splitter are onboard. The massive blacked-out air dam and the neat SS badging are offered too. The side profile stands out with the 20" wheels, massive rotors, Brembo red painted brake calipers, and wide tires. The rear tires are 305s, and that does differentiate it from the Mustang GT with Performance Pack, as its tires are not as wide. The rear end gets a trunk lid spoiler, LED taillights, and the GM Performance Quad exhaust system. 1. A gas guzzler. The fuel efficiency is not going to thrill anyone, and you would feel the pinch if you are thinking about daily driving the 2022 Chevrolet Camaro SS1LE. Coming with a big V8 motor with no hybrid assist and being one of the heaviest of the segment means that the car only returns 16 mpg in the city and 25 mpg on the highway. With a 19-gallon fuel tank capacity, the Camaro SS1LE also could do 361 miles of combined range with a full tank of gas. In comparison, both the Ford Mustang GT and the Dodge Challenger Scat Pack Widebody offered a slightly lower combined gas mileage of 18 mpg and 17 mpg, respectively.